What's up, Foxtrotters? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, hello. It's nice to see you all again. You guys look great. Yes, you person who just realized that winter is coming, or upon you already, depending on where you live in this great big world, and you have exactly 0 cold weather clothing. All those cute summer dresses you bought on sale aren't really cutting it in the 25-degree weather. You look great. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, whether you're at home, work, or school. I am so excited to bring to you a follow-up video to the LuLaLayoffs video that I did the other day. And I did dive a little deeper in this, and it's pretty interesting. I did find some information regarding the tax break that the city of Corona gave to the warehouse, so we'll talk briefly about that. But I will say a lot of this information was either hard to find or you had to pay to see it. So it was just kind of difficult to be able to piece this together. I'm sure everyone's seen the big headline, right? The Corona warehouse lays off 167 employees, is closing for good. But other than that, it's kind of actually harder to find out more. So we'll do our very best to get into that. And if that sounds good to you, then please stay tuned. So a lot of what I'm going to be going over in this video are going to be snippets from various articles and the like. So I will be including links to all these articles down below. I take no credit for any of these articles. This is not my work. I am only here to reiterate and inform. Yes? Okay, good. All right, so this one here is a Vice post. Okay, whatever, Vice, say what you want, and here it is. After years of legal trouble, LuLaRoe is closing up shop in California. It's been a rough few years for LuLaRoe, the direct sales company known for signing up droves of women to sell first pattern leggings and later other types of clothes. After legal and financial trouble and a number of lawsuits, the company is closing its Corona, California distribution center and announced that all 167 employees there will be laid off just 5 days before Christmas. The news came from a letter LuLaRoe sent to the Employment Development Department of California, the EDD, under a state law that says companies have to inform both the EDD and all affected employees at least 60 days before a plant closing or mass layoff. Oh gosh. Understanding the significant impact this decision would have in the lives of so many families in the local community, this decision was not made lightly and was a sole effort to meet the immediate and long-term business and operational demands needed to continue pioneering the social retail industry, a LuLaRoe spokesperson told Report. If that wasn't the weirdest, fishiest statement ever, like, I don't even know. Adding that the company is helping connect its employees with staffing agencies, knowing they will continue to succeed and shine on the road ahead. Oh, what a cop-out. Oh yeah, all those people that we just laid off, don't worry, we connected them with staffing agencies. Everything's gonna be a-okay. Like, oh, this is so weird. And the sentence or the statement, right? It's a very odd statement. Okay, we're going to go through it one more time. Understanding the significant impact this decision would have in the lives of so many families and the local community. This decision was not made lightly. Well, good, I hope not. And was a sole effort, okay? Was a sole effort to meet the immediate and long-term business and operational demands needed to continue pioneering the social retail industry. Long-term business and operational demands. Doesn't really sound like they're too worried about people or fashion or anything else like that. Weird. Oh, I don't know. It sounds like their whole business model is not what they've represented. Could that be the case? I'm just scratching my head. And can I also just say 5 days before Christmas? That is monstrous. I mean, even if you don't celebrate Christmas or the holidays in general, if that's like not your thing or whatever, for whatever reason, I mean, that's still terrible. That's the middle of winter for most people. Well, in California, I don't know if it gets terribly cold out there in the Corona, California area. If you're from around there, let me know. I'm sure, I mean, it can't be as cold as where I am up north at this point. But, either way, that's just like a really bad time of year for that, for so many different reasons. And, it's gross. Okay, let's move on to the next bit of, I was going to say evidence, but I don't know. This is all just available online. So some more information. Okay, here we go. So this next article is actually from 2017, and it's from a publication online called scarymommy.com. I will link all of this below. Again, I think I've already said that, but I'll do my best to link everything below so that you can go and check all this out if you'd like. But they have quite a few articles actually done on LuLaRoe, and you'll see this one is from 2017. And what's interesting about that is because 2017 was, shall we call it, the year of illumination when it came to LuLaRoe. that was when we started seeing blog posts. We started seeing bad reviews. We started hearing about leggings ripping. We started hearing about smelly leggings or clothes, right? We started hearing about consultants complaining of being treated poorly within the company. There was a business stuff coming out. Their commission reports were being released. It was a big year. And it's just kind of kept rolling since then. So let's just kind of, we're going to read this article. We're not going to read this article, but I do have a little snippet that I wanted to talk about. And okay, here we go. So LuLaRoe, the company known for their buttery soft leggings and shady business practices, has yet again screwed over their consultants by suddenly and without warning reverting back to their going out of business policy and procedures. Original going out of business policy and procedures. Sorry, excuse my reading ability on that one. I drank a little too much coffee before this, so I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is an interesting statement, mainly just because the part that you can see highlighted. They reverted back to their original going out of business policy and procedures. See, I wasn't even aware that there was an original or a current or anything else kind of policy that they were dealing with. So I clicked on that, and it took me to a page where it had this written. So as far as I can tell, this is their original policy and procedure. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and read this. Upon receipt of the resaleable products and sales aids, the independent fashion retailer will be reimbursed 90% of the net cost of the original purchase prices. From what I understand, what makes this change or different from what they had prior is that they've said they were going to reimburse 100%. Now apparently they're going back to the original method, which is 90% of the net cost. Shipping and handling charges incurred by an independent fashion retailer when the products or sales aids were purchased and return shipping fees will not be refunded. If the purchases were made through a credit card, the refund will be credited back to the same account. If an independent fashion retailer was paid a bonus based on the products that he or she purchased, and such products is subsequently returned for a refund, the bonus that was paid to the independent fashion retailer based on that product purchase will be deducted from the amount of the refund. All those dumb words, all what that means is just a bunch of words to say one thing, which is we are not giving you back what you deserve at all. That they are not going to pay you back nearly your full amount or even close. They're not going to pay for your shipping or any of those type of things, which I'm imagining in certain parts of the country or the world where people are ordering LuLaRoe, they probably have to pay quite a bit for shipping because those orders are huge and they do like, $500 to $2,000 to $5,000 orders at one time. I can only imagine what the shipping would be on that stuff. Oh, so apparently if you use a credit card, though, that's fine. You can get it credited back to the same account. What happened if you use a debit card, though? Nothing? They don't say. Yeah, so I guess that's what they mean when they say that. So I just want you to keep that in mind, that this has been going on since 2017, and actually prior, it just kind of, the news just came forth in excess in 2017, where we all became enlightened, I guess. Well, not everyone, unfortunately. So yeah, let's just keep that in mind when we kind of look at this stuff, because there have been, let's just say there's been a trail, there have been breadcrumbs laid down to this ending, or this layoff, this kind of folding of this part of the company. This was bound to happen, right? These MLMs, they are designed to take off at max velocity, and they increase at such a rate that at some point it just maxes out and then it goes bust. Okay. And that's what they are designed to do. Because at that point you've made your billions, you could run off to the island somewhere in the Cayman Islands area, or the Caribbean. I don't know. You guys have heard me all say that before, but maybe that's just me being like a little bit cynical. I have no idea. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to, I was going to say the meat of the video, but I really dislike that phrase, and I just said it out loud anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let's go on. Yeah, and this is really just to kind of highlight, at that time in 2017, there were a lot of people saying things like this. Where's my refund, LuLaRoe? You've had my returned inventory for over a month now. Hashtag scam, hashtag where's my money, hashtag lawyer up. So that was something that was circulating a lot around, or starting around that time. It still is. It just really got going around then. So yeah, I don't know. Let's just go ahead and keep that in mind as we look through the rest of this. This post is pure satire, but I had to include it anyway because it's funny, okay?
Per this morning's Lula Show Tuesday webinar extravaganza party, happy fun time. You can now join LuLaRoe for the low, really sad but obviously satisfying low price of 65 pieces for $499. And Mark was gracious enough to let us know that those onboarding can have the pick of whatever's left. No cause for concern, everything is fine, everyone is thriving, sales are probably up, Christmas is definitely coming, see all the things, then buy more things and try to sell those too. Ignore the media's negativity, LuLaRoe is the best, most likely, unicorns.
Like, I know this is satire, but it's so good, like it could be real. I feel like I've seen something very similar to this recently. Per this morning's LuLaRoe Show Tuesday webinar extravaganza party, happy fun time. You too can now join for the low, really sad but obviously satisfying low price of 65 pieces for $500. Oh, it's night and day compared to their regular prices. Yeah, so this whole reverting to these procedures, this is something very strange. And this is current. Maybe I didn't say that. This, what's happening right now, the $500 special price for 65 pieces, that's going on right now, which is kind of why I showed you that stuff earlier, because I was kind of highlighting that while it was getting going then, like the problems, they are just exponentially worse now. It's just weird seeing it like this when they're trying to claim that they're doing so well and that the company's doing so good, and then they're laying off, you know, hundreds of people, and then they're selling stock for like less than a third of the original price. It's like, oh, I don't know, man. Kind of feels like something's going on. I feel like you're not telling me everything, Mark. I kind of get that weird feeling like you're just not being honest with me. A very wonderful ex-Hun who worked within LuLaRoe actually posted these photos online on an article. If I can find it, I will link it below as well. But she has an article about kind of her experience, I guess, in it. But this is a picture from when she was invited to tour the warehouse. And I am having a really hard time finding. So do you all recall there were images at one point, pictures you could find that looked like bags of wet clothing outside of a warehouse, a LuLaRoe warehouse somewhere in California? Well, it's really hard, practically impossible to find those photos anymore, which makes me really suspicious. But I'm 99.9999% and then some sure that this factory is in fact, or excuse me, I keep saying factory, warehouse is in fact the same warehouse. So I think in the last video I kept saying factory, but it's not because, it's because I don't know the difference between a factory and a warehouse. It's not because I was misunderstanding what was going on in the building. I was misunderstanding that a factory and a warehouse are two totally different entities. I get it now, okay? Big dummy right here. I understand. Big dummy. But this warehouse at one point became so full of stuff that they were forced to put it outside. I mean, that says something, right? And let's go ahead. We're going to look at another photo too, just of the interior. You could just see the sheer size of this building, and it's full of stuff. Now, mind you, this is this is before all the leggings were found around the outside, I believe. I'm pretty sure that was this article occurred before that actually happened. So things maybe were still kind of held together at this point. But just look at all that. It's really wild. And just so everyone, if you're worried about, well, what about how are they going to distribute all their stuff now? Well, they moved the entire thing to South Carolina. You can go and Google that, but they moved the whole warehouse and everything they do there, the shipping and packaging things up and etc. All of that is taking place out of a new place in South Carolina. I don't know if it's new, but it's at least where they now have everything going over there. And I also have heard some things about how they have possibly 2 locations out of the country. One of them, I believe, is in Vietnam. Allegedly. It's alleged. Granted, you could probably Google search and find all that. So, like, whoa, I'm not really exposing anything, because it's all pretty much, they've exposed themselves. Let's be honest here. So this is from the Corona warehouse, the LuLaRoe Corona warehouse Indeed page. So these are all people doing reviews, essentially former employees who worked at that particular warehouse. This first one seems kind of familiar. I might have actually read this first one before, but in context, it fits great, so I'm going to leave it. This is an MLM company first and foremost. They deny that fact, but at its core, LuLaRoe is an MLM company. You will be expected to lie to customers, aka retailers, sometimes knowingly, and sometimes not. I found that everything we denied ended up being true in the end. Management is trash, the majority of which are not qualified to manage the specialized departments that they oversee. It is more of a constant high school drama rather than a professional corporate workplace. The reports of LuLaRoe being like a cult are true. If you want more information, there are plenty of articles out there about the despicable actions of the CEO and their team, many of which also happened within the home offices. If you do not fit their mold, i.e. unable to think for self, size medium or smaller, preferably white, catty, immature, cutthroat, and uncaring, you will not survive their culture. I can go on, but even if you skip down to here, here's the gist. The number of lawsuits and accusations LLR is facing should be enough to drive anyone away. Many of the accusations have been or will be proven to be true. I regret my time here and would never work for this company or any variation of it. If you value yourself, do not work here. Well, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. I don't really think I need to follow up with anything else other than, thanks for posting and good for you. You got out. You done did it and you're awesome. And I'm sorry you had to deal with such a toxic work environment. Sounds awful. More good reviews. Oh boy. 1 star. Don't do it. Stay away. This is a sinking ship that you don't want to be on. They sell you with the promise of being able to work from home and support your family, but that is definitely not the case. At least not anymore. Fun place to work. It gets 2 stars. At the beginning, it was an excellent place to work with a lot of opportunity to grow. New management began to work there and everything started going downhill. Well, kind of hate to tell them, but it was already going downhill. The management was just a byproduct of that fact. They just came in to take on the new changes / the old. It's the way they've been doing it the whole time. Let us all just be realistic here. Oh, this one's hilarious. This is the only 5-star review I could find on the whole page, and I mean, incredible. 5 stars, positive vibes. Loved working there. Oh, I should be reading this in the voice because she definitely has the voice.
Loved working there. Nice people and the chance to move up. I liked the early morning shifts. That allowed us to end our day early enough to still have some day left.
Really? Come on. Are your expectations so low for your job that the time of day you get out is like 100% going to give you 5 stars to that job? Really? Are you serious? I like under pros it says good company. It's like, just because you had a good shift or a good time for your shift doesn't mean it's a good company. And cons, freezing in the warehouse. And for the record, this is not the only time I saw where somebody said it was freezing in that warehouse. I'm just imagining this huge warehouse full of horrible patterns. It's freezing. Everyone's wrapping leggings around themselves to keep them warm. You can see the steam of their breath blowing out. Everyone's huddled together. It's just like a miserable, like, doomsday image I have. But anyway, I guess someone gave it 5 stars, so that's great. Lots of positive vibes happening there, so positive that they just, they had to close down the whole thing because it's just too positive. It's too positive. This just keeps getting juicier because these next couple clips are from the LuLaRoe Corona Warehouse Facebook page, from their own warehouse distribution center page. All right. This is on their public page. It's full of these comments. This company is a complete fraud and takes advantage of those who don't go all the way to the wall with trailers, mobile RV shops, and etc. in my opinion. If you're the small selling consultant, they simply don't care about you. Please do not get involved with them. My opinion can change if they do what's right, but I don't see that in the future, and that's sad considering what they did to us doesn't follow their 5 fundamentals and Christian values they claim to have. I don't know what the rest of it says, but I have heard of this before, that they do tend to tout Christianity and or use God as a way to push their products, which, again, I'm not a religious person, but even I find that offensive. You know what I mean? Like, that's not being respectful. I don't know. That seems to be taking everything out of context, and at least from what I understand about it. So, yeah. Let's keep reading. There's gonna be a couple more. So let's go ahead and see what they say. Close your doors. You are a ripoff and have terrible products, and you are unprofessional to your clients. When they close shop, you don't return their money for the products, and you should send the products back that you refuse. It is not right for you to keep them when the client has already paid for them. You are being turned into the Better Business Bureau and anyone else we can think of. And to the news stations, we will get to the root of your evil ways. Well, this might not have been the most grammatically correct post I've ever seen, but I mean, the point remains, like, this person is mad. They're turning you over to the Better Business Bureau. They're turning you over to everyone. They're going to the news. Like, this person is activated. And you know what? This was back in 2018. So this is a little foreshadowing. Little did this person know that we'd come to where we're at today. So I guess it's all, well, it's all looking like it's starting to at least move to a place where everything is, for the very most part, exposed, right? There's a lot of demand for transparency going on right now. So we'll see what happens once that happens. It's really hard to say what's going to happen totally to the company. We can just hope it crashes and burns, but like, I don't know, right? I don't know. Now this one dates back to 2017, and I just want to say it, I need to reiterate again, this is on their public LuLaRoe Corona warehouse Facebook page. It's like corporate office something or other, but this is their public page, okay? I just feel the need to keep reiterating that because this is just all over there and everybody can see it and they're not even trying. This company is nothing but a bunch of thieves. I was a LuLaRoe consultant and sent my cancellation letter in August. I understand that the retailer return agreement was from April to September 13th, I believe. I have emailed Michael Brady about this, but have gotten no response. As I said, I emailed my cancellation letter in August, received an email that I still have in my possession from LuLaRoe stating that I would receive a 100% refund on my remaining inventory. And okay, well, we already know that they reverted back to their older tactics, right? So they're getting less than 90%. They're not getting their, sales tax or shipping paid for or anything like that. Okay, so that has happened since this has been posted. So remember that. I haven't heard from anyone since February 8th, sent my stuff back in January. All my emails have not been answered. I've emailed cancellation questions, cancellation returns, and the LuLaRoe home. No one responds to any of my emails. I sent my inventory and they told Joe whatever, I was getting, now silence. Wow, so frustrating. I canceled this February 13th to be exact, and I was supposed to receive $161 back in credit. I called and they advised my remaining credit would be sent via check after I opted out of the business. It's going on 2 months now. I have sent numerous emails and even contacted the person I'm under for help, and no one has replied or helped. I'm done. I will never recommend this business to anyone. This is going to sound kind of bad, but I guess there was some good that came out of this, which was a lot of these people became very vocal about their treatment or like their unhappiness with the company. They became very vocal and were publishing it, and everything was getting out in the open. So I know it's not great what happened to them, but because of what happened to them, a lot of stuff got pushed out into the light. And now it's time to get into the more, I guess, boring stuff, but it's really the most interesting part of this whole thing. And I am not someone that knows anything about taxes. I don't pay attention till it's tax season, and then it's a full-blown panic to figure out what the heck's going on, okay? So let's go ahead and just read this together, which, by the way, this is all very hard to find, and I will link these articles below. Some of them you have to pay to read, or when you look at it for 2 seconds, it's like, oh, thanks for reading this. Now why don't you subscribe? So, there's that. With a Corona-based clothing distributor facing multiple lawsuits, some critics are questioning the wisdom of the Corona City Council's August 2017 decision to cut a 40-year tax-sharing deal with LuLaRoe. City officials countered that the decision was a good one that boosted the town's coffers and does not pose a risk to Corona taxpayers should the company go out of business. LuLaRoe, a husband and wife operated fashion wholesaler that markets merchandise through freelance salespeople, was sued in November for nearly $49 million by its primary supplier, with alleged unpaid bills. The lawsuit accused the company and its founder, Mark and Deanne Stidham, of creating numerous shell companies to hide assets from the creditors, and claimed there are reasons to believe LuLaRoe is becoming insolvent. A LuLaRoe spokesperson said earlier that the suit's claims were completely without merit and would be contested. Oh, of course, like anyone's surprised. All right, so I don't know anything about taxes, but when I read that there was a 40-year tax sharing deal that was cut with LuLaRoe, regardless of what I know about taxes or anything else, that made me feel very weird. You know what I mean? Like really suspicious, and I don't trust that. And I know nothing about taxes, so I probably sound like an idiot over here being like, well, that sounds stupid. But something about that just sounds fishy. And knowing what we know about LuLaRoe now, right? That's just, lots of sus. Very sus. In light of the challenges, a former councilman and an unsuccessful 2018 council candidate told the city council on January 16th that it was a mistake for Corona to make the deal, which provides for periodic payments to the firm out of the city's general fund. Multiple attempts to reach the company for comment about the sales tax agreement via phone, email, and visit to LuLaRoe's Corona corporate office and warehouse were unsuccessful. No shocker there at all. But yeah, okay, so that sentence there, that it was a mistake for Corona to make the deal, which provides periodic payments to the firm. Okay, so occasionally the city, not occasionally, but periodically the city is essentially paying LuLaRoe? That ain't right. No. This article is from Bloomberg, and once again, this information was not easy to find. I am not an investigative journalist. Go figure. If you thought I was, joke's on you. My ability to do research is limited. You know, I'm just a regular internet nobody, right? So I'm sure there's lots of you who are way more capable than I am about finding out these type of things, but I did click on the link for 40-year agreement, and it does take you to a document, a legally binding document that is very long and very jargony, and I don't understand it, but it's something to do with this agreement for the 40-year tax plan. Let's go ahead and read this real quick. The company notified state officials it is permanently laying off 167 workers on December 20th, about 2.5 years after entering into a 40-year agreement with Corona to open a warehouse and split the city's shares of sales tax paid by California customers on purchases of LuLaRoe products. The 2017 agreement projected the company would generate $2 million a year for the city, with half of that going back to the company. Well, thanks, computer. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that none of that was paid back. Reality has been less rosy for the multi-level marketing company, which uses independent consultants to sell skirts, dresses, and leggings. Among other things, hello! The company is facing multiple lawsuits from suppliers and sellers, and Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson alleges in a January 2019 lawsuit that the company is an illegal pyramid scheme. In a statement to media at the time, a LuLaRoe spokesman said the suit was without merit, as we saw in the last article. That's probably what they've said every time. That suit is without merit. Well, yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you? The warehouse will close 12 days before a new state law takes effect that requires more transparency about sales tax sharing deals, including information about how cities plan to hold companies accountable if they fail to carry out the terms. Kind of convenient that it's closing 12 days before that new state law goes into effect. It's almost like they knew that was coming somehow. I wonder how. I don't know. If you live in the city of Corona or anywhere near, or you are a law person, or you are someone who is just smarter than me, which is very likely, peas and carrots, please feel free to elaborate down below and let us know, maybe clear anything up if you'd like to. If you have any other information, please let us know, because this is interesting and I had a heck of a time finding anything. So, well, that's that.
All hail the queen. Give me those leggings. Patterns. Mix those patterns. Sell. I want my island in the Caymans.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment of the video. It's time for the wholesome moment of the day. Let's see who you guys sent over. Today I will be featuring 4 animals sent over by Teresa. Thank you so much, Teresa, and I'm going to go ahead and read the email she sent along with the photos. The brown red-nosed pit bull and the gray pit bull Great Dane mix are the dogs my daughter rescued. Bella, the brown dog, was in an abusive situation and was saved when she was 7 months old. Romeo was actually given to Jasmine by her neighbor. He started working 12-hour days and couldn't be home to give him attention. He actually gave her food for a few months. Both of them are now thriving under her care. The black one is my early birthday gift from my daughter Jasmine. She is Princess Slate. She is a pitsky, but sometimes she thinks she's a cat. She likes to sit in boxes. If she fits, she sits, and plays with the cat's cube. She is 4 months old and is almost potty trained. The tan one is Mama Jean. She is a pit bull lab mix. I saved her from abusive owners, a family member. She was scared of everything. Besides storms, she is still afraid of men wearing hats. Other than that, she has changed into a loving couch potato. Thank you so much, Teresa, for sending that over. It's a really heartwarming story, and thank you so much for giving these dogs, for you and your daughter giving these doggos a really nice, comfortable home. And if you're looking to get a new member of your family, I definitely recommend to Adopt Not Shop. Check out your local shelters, your local humane societies, donate if you can, volunteer if you can, and don't forget to spay and neuter your pets. And if you want to see a photo of your pets here, then go and send it to my email, which is in my channel description. It's also theburrowingfox@gmail.com. Go ahead and send me an email, and you will see your pets here eventually. Alright, Foxtrotters, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked that video, please hit that like button down below. If you have any good comments or suggestions, please leave that down below as well. I love to hear what you have to say, and I love interacting with you all. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and become a Foxtrotter. Come join the den. Den Mother would love to have you. I'm going to link my Patreon here somewhere. Feel free to check it out, and if not, no big deal. I'm just glad you came to spend some time with me. Alright, folks, I hope that you got something out of that video. I definitely learned quite a bit more than I did previously. Granted, my knowledge prior was pretty limited. So, yeah, there's been some things hopefully cleared up a little bit. If you have any other information or know something else you'd like to tell us all, please let me know in the comments below. Keep us all informed. The more the merrier. So yeah, I don't know. That was kind of an interesting journey down this legal road that's happening at this moment. And other than that, I'm just going to have an r/anti-MLM trash video up in the next day or so. So be on the lookout for that. And as always, folks, I love you. And until the next video, take care.